Hi, it's Tim from AK Endless Sports Cards. A few hobby thoughts for you on this particular video, which happens to be my 10th video. Time sure is flying by this year already. It's already approaching the middle of March. First thought, sellers. Please don't be offended by people making offers on items, whether it's on eBay, whether it's on other forums, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Craigslist. When somebody makes an offer, you can either counteroffer, you can decline, or you can accept the offer. I've just run into people just being extremely difficult when I make an offer. Couple specific examples. So there was a card of a basketball player that was posted, and the last couple of them had sold really low. The market is really down on this player. And I actually offered slightly above market, and which was only about half of what the seller was asking for. But cards are worth what people are willing to pay, and people can ask whatever they want. It's their card, that's fine. But it was declined, and the seller sent a message as part of the decline, and it was pretty rude. Basically like, hey, we're not even in the same ballpark, whatever the case may be. So then all of a sudden, I was watching some others, and a PSA 10 of that card sold for barely above what I was offering for a 9. And I'm just kind of like, well, you know what? Like, why not just counter offer? Now, I would have, of course, declined the counter because the counter would have been high, because I felt like my offer actually was a little bit high. But I was like, well, I want the card. I'll make an offer on it. And there was a bunch of other ones, so it wasn't a big deal to miss out. But I don't understand the benefit in being rude to a potential customer. It just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Another example that I have from from the last few months, actually, I was looking to pick up some additional retail blasters of Prism basketball, and so I had made an offer. And my offer at the time, since Prism's kind of dropped some in value, was a little bit below retail. So instead of, accepting my offer, declining my offer, or making a counter, all I get back is a message. And the message was basically, almost like lecturing me that this is below retail, whatever the case may be. Look, one of the basic principles of economics is the idea of a sunk cost. What somebody pays for an item is not the next purchaser's issue. It's a sunk cost. What you paid for it's what you paid for it. Sometimes you buy stuff that goes up in value, and that's awesome. Sometimes you buy stuff and it goes down in value. And so, again, an offer is an offer. I don't need to be lectured on what the retail price is. I'm fully aware of what the retail price is. So if you don't want to sell it at that price, I'm totally good with it. The irony in that particular situation is I think they retailed at like $35. I offered like $33 a box. Now the seller can't get $25 a box for them. And so, had you just chalked it up as a sunk cost, decided to sell it, it would have been better off in the long run. Again, sellers have the option to sell to whoever they want. They have the option to, not make a counteroffer. I guess they have an option to give a rude message or be upset. All I'm saying is, from a collector's perspective, sellers, if you don't like an offer, just decline it or counteroffer. It doesn't have to be like a dramatic situation. So that's my 2 cents on that. On another note, speaking of retail wax, retail is back. The difference is pretty amazing. So back in 2019-20 with Zion Williamson's class and John Morant's class, wax started to get really hard to find right around that time, and retail wax went through the roof price-wise. I went into Walmart over the last couple days, and wow, was there a large selection of multiple sports. So I mainly like to collect basketball and football. There was Mosaic basketball from Cunningham's class that just came out. There's Hoops Winter, there's Bowman Chrome college football with the logos. I see Bryce Young was on the box, which that's kind of cool. I haven't bought any of that, but it is back, and there is a lot of it. So I see posts about, a junk wax 2.0. I guess that's possible. I don't know, but it is kind of refreshing to be able to walk in there and be able to buy some retail wax. The only type of retail wax I've bought recently, I bought some Hoops Winter, and I also bought some Mosaic football blasters within the last, let's say, month and a half. So one more piece, generally speaking, what I've noticed is that it is a buyer's market in sports cards. If you, from a buyer's perspective, you make offers on things and a seller declines your offer, unless it's some sort of a rare card, you're going to have plenty of other opportunities. The player that I've been picking up, and again, really with all of these things, these are my opinions, and this player that I'm picking up is not somebody that I'm going out and suggesting people go out and buy. It's just somebody I've been picking up, is Trae Young. I've been really, really shocked with how significantly his cards have dropped in price, and I've picked up a few, and I'm actually going to show them on this video as my recent pickups. And at the same time, I'll do a little comparison. I keep reading about people not liking BGS and only liking PSA, and it's totally fine. But I'm going to continue to buy BGS cards of players that I like. If I get a discount, great. If they're close to or on par with PSA, buy the card, not the grade. And so, buy the card, not the grade, and buy the card, not the slab also. So I'm going to do a quick comparison on that as well. So again, Trae Young is a guy that I've been really on the lookout for. Without any further ado, let's get to those Trae Young cards. All right, and away we go. So 3 cards. The first 2 are going to be of the same card in the same grade, but from 2 different companies. So the first is a PSA 9 Silver Prism. It's a nice card. If you're familiar with Prism from this particular year, common problems that you see, and you can see it on camera here, there's typically some bubbling on the surface right in this area here, and this card is no exception. So you can see some bubbling there. The other issue that I see with this card is that, at this corner, it's got a pretty good, I won't necessarily say ding, but it's got a pretty decent amount of white on this corner. Other than that, the card looks good. You look at the left to right centering, it's pretty sharp. These silvers in general are really nice cards. So that's the first one that I picked up. The PSA 9s in that card are going for about 70 to 80 bucks, which I thought was just super cheap relative to the peaks. Second one is the same grade but different company. I went with a 9 BGS of the same card. I paid almost the same amount for these, between 70 and 80 bucks a piece. If you look closely at this one, same type of, little bit of bubbling up here toward the top. Very, very common, probably less than the PSA copy, but there is some. Doesn't really bother me. Centering, of course, looks pretty good. Centering got 9.5. Basically 9.5 on that, 9.5 edges, 9 corners, and 8.5 surface. I really don't see the big surface issue. There must be some roller marks, maybe something on the back. Corners look pretty good. A little bit of edge wear down here, but it looks pretty clean. So really, when I look at these 2 cards side by side, they are the same grade from 2 different companies, and I prefer the BGS. I believe in this circumstance, this BGS card is the superior card in terms of quality of card for the grade. I was really impressed by this BGS 9. So if I eventually decide to move one of these, it's probably going to be the PSA 9. The third and final card is not from Prism, it's actually from Optic. It is a red choice Optic Trae Young. This is also a PSA 9. It's a color match. It's really an awesome looking card. If you're familiar with Choice, it's a very expensive product from this year. All of the product is really, but I don't remember the exact box price. But if you're curious, take a look at 2018 Optic Choice boxes. They're expensive. You don't get a whole lot of cards. This was an amazing buy, in my opinion, because it is numbered to 88. So this is a rare card. You can see it's OC on the back. That really never bothers me. I got this card for 160 bucks. That just seems like unbelievably cheap to me. I don't know. I was thrilled with it. This is a PC card for me. Awesome card. You know, I'm kind of big on the color match. And that'll do it for this particular video. As always, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, as I'm continuously looking to grow my channel. And remember that whether you live in Alaska or anywhere else in the world, the opportunities for collecting sports cards are endless.